Hi, my name is Amanda Fairchild, and I have done my project on Erik Erickson. So, Erik Erickson was born June 15th, 1902, in Frankfurt, Germany, and he was raised by his mom for a long time alone. Then she had remarried and married a physician. So, Erik Erickson did not know his biological father as they had separated at birth. Once he had found out he didn't know his biological father is when he started to get confused about who he actually truly was. This is what sparked the interest about how someone's identity is formed. He also always got teased in school while growing up, so this had impacted his work later in life as well. Later in life, his stepfather wanted Erik to get a degree in medicine and go to medical school to follow in his footsteps, but that is not what he had as a vision in his life. And he seemed to be very interested in art and history at that time. Later, Erik started teaching at a progressive school, and then he realized that he had a strong connection with children. Then, soon after, he moved to the United States and got offered a job at Harvard Medical School, even though he did not formally have a degree. So Erik Erickson believed that everyone goes through 8 different stages of life, and that helps develop your personality from birth until death. So these are the 8 psychological stages that he had developed. So the very first one is trust versus mistrust. From birth to around about 2 years is when this would be developing your trust in who your caregiver was. Did you have trust in that person? Was who responded to you, who fed you, the bathing, taking care of, all those aspects. Were you abused as a child? So are you going to have mistrust in that certain person, which, is very common. So that's where you're getting your trust versus mistrust at the very beginning, early stages of life. The second stage is autonomy versus shame and doubt. This is coming from around the ages of 2 and 3. It's when you're gaining independence and to where you will develop that determination at a young age. So if your parents, aren't allowing you to develop that independence, that's going to put some shame and doubt into your life later on. The third stage is innovative versus guilt. And this is where you're between the age 3 years old and 6. This is where you're going to explore your environment. When you start at the age of 3, you're really questioning and asking why, and you want to explore and know everything. And this is when you realize, you have a sense of purpose and start to realize that. The fourth is industrial versus inferior. Between 5 and 11 of ages is when you're going to be developing this. And this is developing a personal pride and accomplishment in oneself. You want to make sure, are you developing pride and feel good about yourself and feel that you're making accomplishments at that young age, because this is really when you start and have that young age is when you're realizing, I can accomplish this, I can do well in school. The fifth one is identity versus confusion. This is going to be seen in the teen years. You have your personal exploration. If developing a healthy identity, then they'll feel great about themselves. If not, you're feeling confused about the role in life that you are supposed to be expected to play. The sixth is intimacy versus isolation. This is in your early adulthood, forming healthy relationships. To have a long-lasting, healthy relationship in life, you want to make sure you have those healthy relationships so you can continue those relationships and friendships later in life. Number 7, general relativity and stagnation is in your middle adulthood. Being concerned with leaving a mark on the world and contributing to society. And this is when you have that middle adulthood and you say, oh, well, I'll have a kid, or, so then that's going to leave my mark in society, or, I'll have a great career going in my life, and that's where you get that from. And the last one, number 8, is integrity versus despair, and this is in your late adulthood. This stage is where you can look back on life and be happy and say, oh, wow, I've done this, this, and this, and you're super happy in your life. Or, you might see some despair and you're seeing regret, and you say, well, I regret this, I wish I could have done this, and seeing a different person in me. So when you think of critics, some critics might think that they take in consideration that this is really focused towards males, and that you're not going to see the same between male and female, and that it's more focused towards males. My opinion on it is, what if at a young age you have a lot of mistrust in the beginning? At a young age, you grow up and not have a good home life, and then later in life you rediscover yourself, and someone very positive in your life comes along and they make a huge impact, and you see change, and then around that your life can turn around. So you have pros and cons, but overall I think that the 8 psychological stages are great. Thank you.